Welcome to our channel. We're Todd and Marcy. We traveled from Wisconsin to Texas and then headed west to Arizona to explore SAGUARO National Park and the surrounding area. We stayed at Gilbert Ray Campground, which is conveniently located next to the west side of the national park, and Tucson Mountain Park. On a previous day, we had hiked at both of those locations and were ready for more, so we drove approximately 50 minutes east of Tucson. But first, we enjoyed a lovely sunrise. This is probably Tucson, right?
Yes.
So today we're heading to the east side of the SAGUARO National Park. And we're going to the Rincon Visitor Center and gonna check out hiking options there.
We are lining up to block my shot. You're right.
You're taking turns blocking your shot. My turn to block your shot.
There, thank you.
I was just saying how they've got really nice bike paths along the side of this road. At the Visitor Center, we received a park map and talked with one of the rangers regarding hiking options. We're heading to the LV trailhead for a 3.5-mile hike that the ranger in the Visitor Center recommended. She said we can turn several trails into a loop, so that's what we're gonna do. And this is the one-way loop to the trails. The trails kind of shoot off from the loop. I had to park a little bit a ways from the loop that we're gonna hike, so we're heading to the trailhead now. We did the west side yesterday, hit one hike in the national park, and then we did another hike in the Tucson Mountain Park. I was thinking this one was gonna look a lot like the west side of the national park, but it does look a little different. Is it closer to the mountains?
I don't think so. It does look different.
Yeah, I can't quite put my finger on what's different, but you know, what isn't different is it's surrounded by saguaro cactus. Really beautiful. It's Tuesday morning. I think it's in the high 50s right now, which feels very warm for high 50s. That's definitely one thing that I'm enjoying about Arizona is the temperatures feel warmer than the number.
When you're in the sun.
When you're in the sun, yes. Loma Verde Trailhead. Morning.
Good morning.
So look at the saguaro cactus blooms. That would be pretty to see, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think I mentioned that we'd be going by a wash. Can't imagine we hit it already, though.
That's probably where we come back out.
Really?
The map you showed me, we wanted to take the second right and then every right after that.
It's pretty. I don't know what mountain range this is. It's sure pretty. It's a stately saguaro. A stately giant saguaro, I'm thinking. Yeah, that's a good looking one. We didn't get you next to a saguaro.
I can't get as close as you did though, because
Oh, too many pokies?
that guy has thorns.
Yeah. Yeah. It just really does give scope. Wow, so he's probably 1, 2, 3, 5 of you maybe? 4 or 5.
So it's like 30 feet tall.
I was just saying the very bottom looks like a tree trunk, but we checked one out that had died.
Yeah, and it was super hollow. It wasn't solid like wood.
We heard a gamble quail at our campsite. We identified it through the Merlin app, and we saw at both visitor centers. It was pictured as found quite often here in the area. I was saying I would really like to see one. It'd be interesting to see one of those. Is it called a javelina? It kind of looked like a pig.
Oh.
That would be a little freaky to see. Some saguaros develop a unique fan-shaped pattern at the growing tip. According to their website, only about 75 saguaros with this crusted growth form have been found in the park. I think I remember reading in the visitor center that bikes, hikers, and horses all share these paths. This would be super fun to take a horse on. We saw evidence of horses here.
And she doesn't mean hoof prints.
I'm a little jealous now that I'm thinking about that, being on a horse, taking this trail. Yeah, I kind of want to do that. Maybe instead of upgrading to another RV, we get a horse.
Oh, okay.
Keep the RV we have and find a lightweight trailer. We have the Ranger, the trailer, and then can the E-Pro tow?
No.
Oh, I don't know where we put our horse then.
Oh, well. Easy come, easy go.
Except we have seen those fun travel trailers that are geared for hauling a horse around. Like the front is your little apartment area and the back is for the horse.
It's fun to just say things.
All right, so Pink Hill Lookout.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are heading up to the Pink Hill Lookout for a view. There was a lady on a horse with her phone checking GPS because we had questions about where this lookout was. She pointed us in the right direction. All right, we are about a mile away from the trailhead where we'll complete our loop. Looks like we're walking towards the mountains here. This loop didn't really have a name. It was kind of a combination of several different trails. We got a mile to go. We're estimating, what, 5 miles total? Is that what you're thinking?
At least, yeah.
Which is a little bit more than what we were expecting, but we brought enough water for this one. And I was commenting about how yesterday when we were hiking the Brown Mountains, or the Brown Mountain, that was our mountain hike and this is our desert hike.
Yeah, this has been pretty flat.
Yeah. Sandy,
Yeah, a lot of sand.
but not so much sand that it's miserable to hike in, because
Yeah, it's not like Michigan sand.
right,
This is
right.
more like really fine crushed gravel.
Yeah. I've enjoyed this hike. It's been a good one for me. A lot of winds in the trail, so it's varied as far as your walking direction. And of course you've got saguaro and mountains and all kinds of cactus. So after this, we are thinking of maybe going to the SABINO Canyon. We've had 2 recommendations on that. One of our neighbors, Jean, and cousin Christina had this recommendation, so we might be heading that way. Hopefully we can. The problem is getting parking. We struggled to get parking here, and we got here at, I think, 9.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll, we
Actually, yeah, the parking lot was full. We had to go park
could down a ways.
half a mile away.
So, we're probably going to grab lunch and head to SABINO Canyon, but whether or not we get parking to hike there remains to be seen. But I can see why people are really enjoying Arizona in the winter. So much to do, and the weather's been wonderful. I think we're in the low 70s today as a high, but
Yeah.
once again, the breeze is just wonderful. It's a cool breeze, not a cold breeze. We're not getting rained out, so that's another plus. It's been sunny.
I think that's pretty hard to do in Tucson. It only rains just a few days a year. So
Yeah.
I think the funny one was average days of rain in May, 0. They average 0. They never get rain in May. That's funny.
And even in February, didn't you say it was
It was 3.
3 days?
3 days.
After our hike, we headed to the nearby Saguaro Corners restaurant for lunch. Todd had a delicious smoked turkey Cobb salad with avocado and bacon, and I had the super yummy smoked pork tacos with cabbage and chipotle crema. After lunch, we traveled to the Sabino Canyon Recreation Area, which is located at the base of the Santa Catalina Mountains and partly in the Coronado National Forest. It offers more than 30 miles of trails. Day use is $8 per vehicle and weekly use is $10 per vehicle. To pay for parking, you can use the self-service pay station or pay in the visitor center. The America the Beautiful annual pass is accepted. Todd said he thought he saw parking.
Yeah, there's quite a few spaces back there. So.
This is a good-sized parking lot. We explored the visitor center, finding many interesting food items. We also met a forest friend. It's a good one, a Smokey. You ever wonder what Smokey looked like up close? Then we began our hike. Which one are we hitting?
Sabino Lake.
Sabino Lake. Okay. Oh, this is so pretty already. So what did you learn about saguaro's growth patterns?
Well, looking at one that's about 6.5 feet tall, just over my height, that's going to be about 70 years old.
Okay.
And they don't get their first arms until about 100 years old.
And then what did you say about the blossom?
So when they're about 6.5 feet high is when they'll start getting those blossoms. And then like 30 years after that is when they can get their first arms.
That just makes them seem even more amazing.
Yeah,
now that we know about them.
There's so many.
That there's so many.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it happens for us all the time, right? We look in the woods and we see trees and go, oh, that tree is 100, 150 years old. But for some reason with the cactus, they seem more fragile.
Yes, they do. So it's amazing that there's still this many standing. He gets the award for most arms that we've seen. Let's see if I can get a different angle. So he got the height and the arms. And he's already kind of growing a little crooked.
Yeah.
So he'll take on an interesting shape. Right. Yeah, this is a fun trail. Oh my goodness. Just look how tall. It's just amazing. He's not very big, but he's tall. Ooh, is this our tallest one yet?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's probably close to 45 feet.
He had all these arms in the beginning of his life, and then they turned into legs. And then they just shot up. Wow. You know the camera's not going to pick up the scope of the height.
But I'm not going over there.
Because it's a little pokey over there.
Where the arms start is probably 10 feet up.
And the one next to it, look at the one next to it doesn't even have an arm yet.
Look at his one arm is down here on the ground.
Interesting.
They don't all get arms.
Sabino Lake Trail.
Lower Sabino Road.
We were happy that when we got here, there were several parking spots. So after our hike at the east side of SAGUARO National Park, we went out for lunch. And the website, or actually just Google, said that the busiest time here at Sabino Canyon was noon, and that was its peak, and it was going to get less busy after that. So we waited and got here, I think, 1:30.
Yeah.
And we had several spots, so good news.
Well, they also have a lot of spots.
Yeah, it's a big parking lot. They planned well. The west side of the SAGUARO National Park, I read, was a little more popular, and we were speculating that maybe it's because there's more parking, because there was a little more parking over there.
A lot, yeah.
I think they had maybe more hiking options too. Look how pretty this is. Look at all the little rocky ledges on this mountain. Ooh, all over this mountain. This is pretty.
Straight ahead, over your head.
Oh, over my head, I didn't even see it. We found some shade. And this is pretty too, just this whole rock structure. It's got black running through it. It's really, really pretty. Wouldn't this make a great fireplace stone, maybe? Yeah, we're in the shade. How unexpected. Todd thought it couldn't happen. You just gotta look for a bluff, huh?
I guess.
And he's getting his first arm. Aw, good job, buddy. I'm thinking this is prickly pear. Wow, that's the most we've seen in one spot. We have a competitor for the most arms award. I'll have to review the footage and declare a winner later. I like those. How fun. You can take tours with their, I don't know if they call it a bus tour, up to the canyon and down.
Seems like a great idea right now.
They have shade the whole time.
It's true.
But they wouldn't have been able to experience that amazing bluff trail that we just did. As the day ended, we thought about the lovely hikes we experienced at SAGUARO National Park and the surrounding area. Thanks for watching as we were out and about in Tucson, and join us next time as we continue to explore Arizona while staying at a state park on Lake Havasu. And what were we talking about earlier?
I have no idea.
That's so long ago. I'm trying to rack my brain. Oh, we're like, where are we going? That's right. Where are we going?